Hi, Todd Wente here with Path to Progress for July 8th, 2025. Kind of an interesting morning here in the mobile office, getting ready to head into the main office and thinking about all kinds of interesting lessons. Yesterday morning after I went in to the office, thinking about how to be curious, thinking about next best small thing, thinking about how I take some of those lessons and turn them into something that can be useful. I had a very fascinating conversation with one of my employees. We had a situation pop up where somebody came in. We had some things happen, and they were not very satisfying interactions. In fact, the individual that was talking to me said, "I have severe reservations about working with this individual because of blah blah blah." As we talked, there were a couple of lessons that became evident to me that I think I have learned in the past, but that are hard. And those two lessons I shared with that individual. The first one was people have a tendency to make the same mistakes over and over again. But the second one is that when people are given the chance, sometimes they can change. Those two lessons are really contradictory. They're really contradictory, but they both seem to be true. The influence that allows somebody to change can be a lot of different things. It can be another human being. It can be a dream. It can be a desire. It can be something that is bigger than, but it has to be something that is bigger than who the individual currently is. Likewise, when people develop a pattern, a process for behaving in a particular way, it carries on an energy of its own. You know, we've talked about that a little bit on this channel before. I've talked about that a little bit on this channel before in referencing the idea that when you fall in love with the process, progress becomes pretty consistent. But until you fall in love with the process, progress really struggles. You might see some, but you don't feel it quite as easily and quite as completely. So it's kind of a fascinating deal. And it's really funny how we as humans can see that in others, but we fail to see it sometimes in ourselves. As I was having the conversation with the individual, I was thinking about my own life, about the mistakes that I make. One of the mistakes that I make is I try and prove to people that I'm smart by telling them what I know. Not necessarily the best idea, because people don't like to be told. People like to discover. People like to feel smart. They like to feel like they've been the one to discover it. So maybe the biggest thing that I can do is ask questions to help lead people to discovery. Maybe that's the biggest path to progress I need to make in my own life. Instead of repeating the mistake of telling people stuff that they need to know, helping people discover for themselves what works, what doesn't. It's a lot to think about. It's been a pretty heavy morning. But I'm early, and so I'm getting on my way into the office a little bit early. I'm going to get things done. I got a lot of things to tackle. I got a lot of dragons to slay, a lot of things to accomplish. So I'm going to get at it. I hope you can get at it as well. And I hope this little piece this morning, short as it's been, has been useful for you in your pursuit of progress. In the meantime, share this with as many people as you can. Hopefully we can get more people to come with us on this path to progress. My name is Todd Wente. Ulum Diem. We'll see you next time.